Hi Tea Quilters, today is February 26th, 2020, and besides those 20 people that are already here, if you're watching this video at any other time, just know that you're watching an upload of a live chat, and the chat box is not open, but you're more than welcome to leave your comments in the comment section. So welcome everybody. It's been a long week and especially a long day, so we've got a little over a minute maybe to wait for people to come on, and then I'll start with the chat box and welcome you individually, and we will start from there. So I need to got this on my phone, figured out how to get in here early this time. Since it's my channel and I'm pulling it up on, I'm making it live here, but then watching here, I can't subscribe to my own channel, so it doesn't send me notifications. So I figured out that I can search and find my live. So that was pretty cool. So looking forward to that. We've got about 38 people in the chat, something like that. So welcome everyone. Appreciate you all being here. I have just a hodgepodge of things that I want to share with you all. And I think somebody even asked me a question, but I can't remember which social media forum this question came from. And I can't remember the question, but I kind of remember somebody asking me something. So if you are that person and you didn't get your question answered this week, just go ahead and pop it in the chat box as well. When I get to that line, I'll answer it at that point. If I remember it, or if I have time, I'll go search on my YouTube comments to make sure it wasn't over there. Or if it was on Facebook, it's just real difficult to find questions over on Facebook. But yeah, I try to answer them, and then some people will send me a question in my email, and yeah. But I'm hoping that I'll answer all questions either way. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the chat. I'm going to welcome everybody here. I'm just going to say hi to everybody, and then I'm just going to say your names and what it is that you're saying. So we've got Diane 57. She says, never fear, Diane is here. Melinda C is here, says, hello, T and everyone. Telling everyone to don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. Thank you, Melinda. Appreciate that. Shrivia Henderson is here. And we also have Pamela Tabor. She's saying hi to everybody, and that's waiting. They got in pretty early today. Let's see. Slowing Down Joe is here. Hey. She says, hey, T and all. Shrivia Henderson says, good evening, T and everyone. Barbara Baker is here saying, this is my first time seeing you live, and I responded to her. Thanks so much, and welcome to the channel. I appreciate when my newbies come to the live chats. This is a place where you can ask quilting related questions. You've got a plethora of experienced quilters here that will help you with that information. And remember that it's all just our opinion, because there are so many ways to do the exact same thing. So we all love to give our advice. And then we also have, let's see. And Barbara also said, thank you, I'll be glad to be here. Can't wait to see your fabric. And then Shakita Pearson is here. Now, I see additional comments coming up, but mine stopped as soon as I went live. So let me go back and refresh, because now that I'm actually live, it only let me do that until I actually went live. Technology is interesting, and I'm learning every day. So, Shakita's here saying, hey, T and everyone. I think I said that. Robin Boyd is here saying, hello. Hi, Robin. Welcome to Teaquilts Live. Brenda Perkins is here. Says, is Brenda from Arkansas. Welcome, Brenda, as well. I don't remember your name. Cheryl Clute is here. Says, hi, T and crew. Tiffany is here. She says, hello, friends, with the smiley face. Hi, Tiffany. June Billing says, hi, T and everyone. Cheryl Land says, hi, T. Hey, quilt fam. Judy is here. Says, good evening, T and everyone. Maria Mayer is here. She says, hi, everyone. Cheryl Abram is here. Says, hi, T and everyone. Linda Price is here. Says, hello, everyone. Beverly Seaball says, good evening, T and all quilters. Now, you all know I've sat in this room for like 10 minutes. I got in here early. I didn't cut the fan on because I was fine. And I had the lights on. So maybe it's talking that makes me hot. That's got to be it. Talking. Adele Smith says, I'm a newbie. Hello. Hi. Welcome to the channel. I appreciate you stopping by. And I hope all of my new people in the chat have subscribed to my channel. I really would appreciate it. I've got a lot of helpful how-to videos, a lot of quilt blocks videos, a lot of crumb piecing and string piecing videos, a lot of stuff that you can see here, quilt shell reviews. So yes, please subscribe. We've got Tucker here. Hi, Tucker. It says, hello, everyone. Glad to see you all back again this week. Celia Swain is here. It says, hugs, tea, and everyone. Jennifer Farsh is here saying hi to everyone. Quilting for the Soul says, hi, tea, and everyone. And Claudette Bettis is here, says hi, T and everyone. Bonita Nance is here saying hi, Miss T and everyone. Phyllis Garner says hi, T and everyone from Phyllis Garner, our birthday cruise somewhere in the Caribbean. From a birthday cruise. Okay, she says, didn't want to miss my Tea Quilters family. Wow. Thank you, Phyllis. Have fun. I love cruises. Kim Burris is here, says hi, T and everyone. Angela Stringer says, hey, T-Ma. Hi, everyone from Lee Summit, Missouri. Hi, Angela. Virgie says, hello, T and everyone. Eric is here saying, hello, hello, hello. He's been here twice in a row on time. Hi, Eric. Nisima says, is waving at everybody, saying hi. Crystal Sparkles EL says, hello, everyone, first timer here. Welcome as well, Crystal. Appreciate you stopping by. Let's see. Pam Robertson is here. She says, hi, T, everyone from New Orleans, from NOLA. I'm hoping that I can go back to NOLA this year in December. I've been there 2 or 3 times. I can't remember now. At least 2. And my phone went down, so now I've lost my spot. Let me see. I don't know what happened to my NOLA comment. I see it now. It's from Pam Robertson. We got Kevin the Quilter here. Saying, woohoo, hey everybody, especially our queen of scraps. go away. He is too funny. Trying to get Brenda Perkins says, this is my first live with you. I thought so. Appreciate it. My brother is here. He says, hey sis and everyone. That's my brother Ray. And Barbara says, I think I found you from Tiffany. Thank you. Tiffany has been working on the mystery blocks, and I watched some of those videos, and she's been telling people what she's working on. So thank you, Tiffany. Jennifer Farr says, Nee's opinions. I'm doing a solid color quilt. I have reds and whites. What would be a good third color besides blue? Guys, she's asking a question. What would you put with a red and white quilt besides blue? I'll let these other people figure it out. I'm reading Beverly's comment about laughing out loud. How talker Miss T. Okay, so we've got Patricia White saying, hello, Patricia White. I love your scrap quilts. Thank you so much, Patricia. You sound like your name is new too. Welcome to the live chat. Appreciate it. And then my brother's asking me, did you get my thumbs up? I don't know who the thumbs up come from. You are funny too. Susan Martin is here, says hi, T and everyone. Sue here from Clermont, Florida. I'm sorry. Janet Mackerel is here saying hi, T and everyone. And I'm just trying to skip names I've seen for right now. Because I'm trying to get started. Remo JS says hello, T and everyone from Bowie, Maryland. This is the first time I've been saying names this long into the video. People are suggesting black or green with your red and white. I like black too, but I like red, white, and black quilts. Somebody said yellow, black, a bright green. Somebody says a gray. So see how you get so many opinions around here? Sin Forrest is here, says hi to everyone. Yippee Skippy, I caught y'all live. And Brenda is saying that I enjoyed your retreat you went to. Yeah, I have a lot of fun at retreats. Get a lot done too. And I'm just going to skip some for right now. Please read the comments and see what other people are giving you for color suggestions as well, because, yeah. We're going to go ahead and get started. And that's because I've got a few things on my agenda. I did finish the hand binding on 4 quilts last week, and I'll go ahead and do a video on those 4 and make them my finished projects videos for February. I also, from my quilt shop, not my quilt shop, from my retreat video that you all are referring to, I had people asking me about the pattern for the machine cover. I just basically took a piece of fabric, measured my machine, made a strip of fabric, and made my pockets. But there is like a 12-page or so instruction thing that you can download. On that retreat video, I have pinned a comment to where you can get the link for that machine cover if you're interested in that. Also, in regard to the Saturday project that we did, I have already made a video for that, and I had to do a lot of starts and stops, so I need to find time to edit that video. So that should be coming in the next week before I come back live. Hopefully that video will be up. So I will have a quilt pattern for that, and that pattern does not have a name. It was just something that somebody did at a retreat, and this girl taught it to us at our retreat. So I'll just make up some name for it, because everything needs to have a name until we figure out where the pattern actually came from. So just know that those 2 pattern requests, people have been asking me about that a lot, and I've got all of that covered. If you go back to the retreat video, you'll have a link for the machine cover, and then if you come back to the next video I upload, hopefully will be the quilt top. I already have the quilt top completely made. I just need to edit the video. Now, I went to Jackman Fabrics in St. Louis, which will be on our shop hop list if you're attending retreat. And if you are attending retreat, just know that a lot of your questions about retreat, I know it's getting closer, not necessarily close, but I'm trying to wait until I get everybody that is fully paid for retreat before I start sending out any more miscellaneous information. So I want to make sure that when I start sending out specific information about retreat and start fine-tuning what's going to happen at retreat, that it's only going to the people that are actually going to retreat. So that's where we are as far as me providing a whole lot of information to the group. But do know that I'm working on getting my friends to let you borrow sewing machines if you have to fly in, if you're not driving and can't get your machines here. I'm working on, like, me and perhaps a couple of my friends bringing large mats so that people can use mats. If you need a small mat, you can probably put that into your luggage so you can have one in your area. So a lot of the retreat questions that I've been getting, I will be answering those in April at some point. I'll be sending out more details about retreat. I went to Jackman's Fabric and Hobby Lobby. So I'm going to start with Hobby Lobby just because the Jackman's Fabric is the prettiest. And let me get receipts so I can tell you what I bought and hopefully how much I bought. So I got 3 pieces of fabric the first time I went to one Hobby Lobby, and I'm one of those people that if I'm on a mission for something, I'll go to more than one store in a day just so I can take care of everything that I need to get done. So I purchased 3 pieces of fabric. I'm thinking that this green one right here was 2 2/3 yards. I actually have something that I'm going to be using this for the retreat. So this is actually, a lot of this is gifts, or I'm using it for a project per se. This right here is one that I plan to cut out for the stack and whack to have as a sample, so we can, so when I teach the stack and whack class. And this one is also African wax cloth print, although it doesn't have wax in it, but that's still what the print is called. And it's also retreat gift. So I don't normally show y'all stuff that's going to retreat, but I thought that I would go ahead and do that anyway. And those 3 items, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, those 3 items were $44. The fabrics, the green fabric was $3 a yard. This was only $3 a yard. And then I had 40% off of this one right here, and I just bought the whole boat. So whatever was on it that was left, which was 6 yards, because I needed to make sure I had enough. So that's that one. So that was 6, 7, 8, 9. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So about 12 yards of fabric for $44. Then I went to the second Hobby Lobby, and I wondering if this text would work as a stack and whack. So ended up buying another piece of fabric. Is this upside down? Yes. Like this, and then let me get, I think it was $3 a yard too. So let me get the receipt for that, because I went to a different store. Yes, it was $3 a yard, and it was almost 5 yards, 4 3/4 yards. And when you're buying fabric for stack and whack, you're actually buying fabric by the repeat. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go watch my stack and whack video series. I got about 4 or 5 videos on stack and whack. And then I also bought a couple of things from the sewing. Well, one thing from the sewing department. I wanted these, or rather craft, because this is really craft. These Tim Holtz titanium scissors. I just wanted some because all of my titanium scissors are small, and I wanted some that were a little bit bigger. So, and if you know, this was $11.99 at Hobby Lobby, but you can use your 40% off coupon for one item, and that's what I got this for, and I paid $7.19. And then I bought a couple of things that were on clearance. This was $6.74. I've seen something similar from Crafter's Companion, and this was much cheaper on a clearance, so I said I'll do that. And then this one was also $6.74 from Sizzix again. And it's just an envelope liner die to make my, since I've been making people birthday cards, I thought maybe I'll add a liner on the inside. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 40% off fabric. Scissors. The scissors was on sale because all of the Tim Holtz stuff was already off. And then the 2 things, and I spent $35 for the fabric, these 2 dies, and the scissors. Spent $30-something. All right. The fun bag is from Jackman Fabrics. They were having a boutique sale. And so I went there and I bought a lot of boutiques because it was on sale, you know. Didn't need it whatsoever. If I'm not mistaken, because the receipt is not in this bag, I think the fabrics were all $5.99 a yard. They had a great sale, and they had so many that I just was like, I have to cut my blinders off, because as other people were getting cut, they can cut 2, 3, 4. They can cut 6 people at one time if they've got 6 employees. And I had to cut my eyes out, my blinders, put my blinders on, because I'd see a fabric from clear across on the other side being cut, and I go, oh, I want a piece of that too. Can you get that boat? Can you? Well, it was a mess. But here's one piece of the boutiques. They are gorgeous, okay? Just beautiful. This can be so many things. It could be trees. It could be water. It could be sky. It just depends on how you lay out this piece of batik. It could be numerous things. Just beautiful. And then here's another piece. purple. I just like it because it's a soft purple and it's got the leaf impressions in the background. It's number 2. Another one. This one I've seen before. I might even have some here, but I was going for a project that I thought I needed to make sure I had it. Didn't want to get home and not have it. And then here's just a piece of orange, just for the color. Nothing super fancy about that. This one I love again. It's got purple with pinks. Very pretty. All $5.99 a yard. And this one here, another purple with pink. It's a little bit harder, but I thought if I might do a quilt with the purple and pinks and orange and maybe blue, I'm not sure yet. I thought that I needed a good variety so that they stand out from each other. Here's another purple. And again, it's got that paisley kind of undertone. I love paisleys. Very pretty. And let me just show you another side, since that side's a little bit more white-ish. And this was President's Sale. Another piece of blue here. And this blue, it's just because it's blue. And you don't tend to find different blues and different shades as often in boutiques, or for a great price anyway for boutiques. And somebody's saying, where is this? It's in Jackman's, which is a St. Louis area fabric store. Another one that has that paisley print in the background, just different color. And then this one's kind of like sunflowers. Very pretty. Goes from yellows, oranges to like hints of brownish. And then the browns kind of want to look green. And then the last one here is this one here. Just gorgeous coloring. So I just bought them because they were pretty. I think when I got through at that place, I had spent $150 because some of them I only bought like 1 yard. Some of them I bought 2 or 3 yards. So yeah. Yeah, I went to Jackman's and just acted a complete fool in there. Now let me just throw this stuff on the floor. I have to clean it up later. And I've got, I don't know what this is from. Maybe it's pollen. Just toss it to the floor for right now. And then I also got a mystery box in the mail. And I don't know if I should be opening this on Teaquilts or not, because this box came to me in my P.O. box. But I don't remember ordering anything from Amazon. But I thought that I would wait and open it here just to make sure. And I didn't receive any quilt blocks this week. So if you mail something and I didn't get it, just let me know. Okay, so it is. It was like, am I supposed to open this on camera? But it is. I see it already. It's got a gift receipt up on top. Says, a gift for you. Enjoy your gift from Bonita Nance. And then it says, hey, Miss T, I was watching the retreat video while looking in Amazon and stumbled on these. Maybe you can use them for your photo albums, from Bonita Nance. Well, thank you so much, Bonita. I'm looking forward to seeing what's in it. It's paper, guys. That's why I say what's in it. But look at this. She sent paper pads. And I just went to Tuesday morning and bought a couple more pads. I think I'm obsessed now. But isn't that pretty? Very nice. So the designer paper, that's one. It's got 50 sheets in it. Wild and free designer paper. And I'll show you my album too. I'm trying to find a place to put this. I'll just put it on the floor on top. This is another one called Mint Julep. Right here. Very nice. So I have to see too. They show you on the cover what papers are in here, but it's always just better to see it. I like too, this is the first time I've seen a pad that gives you some page layout ideas if you're actually scrapbooking with it. That's really nice. And then another one that's called Marble. It's got 30 sheets in here. Again, it's got the page layout ideas on the back. That's really cool. Ooh, this is nice. Very nice. This can go with any paper almost, the marble. And like when I have these here and I need to make die cuts, I just want to give you all a tip with paper piecing. I also recycle the covers as well. So if I need a heart or something, I punch out hearts out of these things on the cover. I use the entire pad. I use as much of it as I can. And like this, I would even use this as a strip. I just cut clear across it. So I try to use as much of that paper pad as I can. So thank you so much, Miss Benita. She's so sweet. She's always sending some kind of surprise through here. Just thank you so much. And when I got it, I'm like, I don't remember ordering anything from Amazon. And I do sometimes send my orders to my P.O. box if I know that I'm going to be out for the day, so I don't have to worry about my orders being stolen from the home or anything. But yeah, so let me show you my latest memory book I made in maybe about 2 or 3 days, because I was just making this and didn't have a plan. I just knew that I'm working on a project for my scrap quilting club, and I want to make them books, but their books are only going to be 1 inch. My book needs to be a little bigger because I want to put everybody else's pictures in my book. But on their book, I'm only giving them pictures that are pictures of them doing their show and tell. But I thought I needed a bigger book. So now this book, I cut the spine at 2.5 inches. And so this is the front. I've already got the front decorated, but I don't have the spine decorated. So this is how I decorated the front. And I don't do a whole lot with collage and paperwork, but I'm telling you, I had so much fun making this cover that I am going to have to get more into making collage things, not only in paper, but as well in fabric, because I had so much fun just pulling various things from my stash to put on this cover. And then on the back, it's just a different piece of paper, and also I covered up the ribbon pull that's on the back. So let me just show you real quick what's in here. So you pull the ribbon, and this ribbon I put as a loop instead of just 2 pieces coming from one from the back, one to the front. I actually put a loop, and then I made the loop so that when the book is full with photos, that it will still have enough just to come around here, but give me space for my stuff in the middle. And then this is the front without the bow on it. I just put a little bit more of this gold to accent my holder on the front. And I didn't decorate the back because I felt like it wasn't going to be seen or wasn't the obvious point of interest. So then I open up the book, and it starts out like my other albums, where you've got pockets here. On the side, right here is a pocket, but this time I went ahead and made sheets that pull out, that goes in those pockets, and the sheets are finished on both sides, ready for photos to be placed. Anywhere you see this solid print, there's a photo or something else going to go there. So that just slides in there on the side. And then like my other albums, this is magnetic, so it closes. And then you got the different pages here. 4 of these will flip up. So I'm going to have a difficult time seeing this and showing it. Hold on just a second, trying to look at it and show. And then this one here is the last one that flips up. And then this entire page flips over as well. So when I pull that back up, and then I did the same thing as my other album in the back, where I have this page here, but instead of the tie, I use magnets again. It's hard to show this, guys. I use magnets again. No, is this it? Yeah, so it just opens up. It doesn't use magnets. So this page opens up like that. Close it and close it. And then this side also opens up like that. Okay, and then in the middle here is a pocket as well. So you see this gold card. I can use those for pictures or for journaling if I want. But what I did different to make my book extra special is I added 2 pages in here, 2 additional pages. And one page is just like the waterfall that I made up here on the front. And you see these tabs that let me know that there's a page in there that I can pull out. And then on this one, on the back, I just added another magnetic closure here on the back. And then just opens up for me to journal on the inside and add another photo. And then also, let me show this other page. This is a page here. I don't forgot how they opened up. It's magnetic. So it opens up. And does it open again? Oh, it's a waterfall. So I can put pictures over here. So 1, 2, and 3. And then more pictures on this page. And then it's also a pocket here where you can see, and I've got my pages on front and back. And shut up, Eric. I can hear you going, is this a, is this Teaquilts paper crafts? And then on the back of that page, I just kept it simple and just put one photo here on the back. Just because I'm like, girl, you've gotten so many. I think I can get, without, on the mats that I have here, these are my photo mats. On these, I have 51 of these that I can put 51 pictures in. And then if I need to put more, those pockets will hold another slide in. They're big enough to hold that. So I just wanted to share that. Some people were asking me about a video. I will be making a video. I'll make a video on a 1-inch one. And then I will, it'll probably end up being a series because it's going to be a long video. Just because of all the steps that it takes to make your own book from scratch, including the binding. I purchased my own chipboard. And then there's different ways of covering your chipboard to make your outer spine. So I want to show you both ways so you have options. I have watched a lot of videos and have taken what works for me out of those videos. And also when you're making a lot, because I'm making them in bulk, I have figured out which is the cheapest way for me to go if I'm making them in bulk. And then I also bulk cut. So I'll be talking about that, but I'll have to record that video. I haven't done that yet. But yeah, I just wanted to make sure I got in all the information before I go through the chat. So I got to go back, scroll back through. It's been a long time since I've been in here. And I'm sure a lot of you all are saying that you like fabrics. So I'm going to skip those if you don't mind. We got Sandy Sanchez here. She says, hello all. Hi, Sandy. Welcome to Teaquilts Live. We come live every Wednesday at 7 p.m. unless something else is on my schedule. Phyllis is also reminding you guys to please remember to hit the thumbs up button. I would really appreciate it. It just helps keep Teaquilts channel in the YouTube suggestion list. And Cynthia, Sin is giving me a name for the quilt, if you're calling it Retreat Surprise. You could call it the Saturday Project from Jennifer. We got Adrian Riaz is here. Hi, Adrian. She says, hey, T and everyone. Virgie said, what was the pattern you had at Retreat for Saturday? It doesn't have a name, Virgie. You must have come in later. And I will, or I'm answering it later. But I'll have a pattern and with the instructions and a video coming up. It's already recorded. It's my next video to edit. So it's coming soon. People are still giving colors that can go with yellow and white. Betty Harris is here saying hi, Miss T. Hi, Betty. Welcome to chat. And okay, so let me go back down. And Virgie says, you're so good when I said I was being bad buying all this fabric. But some of it I do have plans for. Even though all the boutiques are pretty, I got 2 and 3 yards of some that I know I'm going to be giving away as well. So some of it is not mine. Thank goodness. Let's see. Oh, Eric, too, just because I see your name. I did post your package in the mail. So I'm thinking they said it should be there Thursday. Hopefully you'll get it. I'm trying to skip down and see if anybody is asking any questions, but I'm also skipping some stuff. Adele says, I'll take it if you don't need it. Carolyn Bowser is here. She says, hi, T and everyone. Sandy says, I love boutiques too. I always end up with the darker colors and I need lighter colors. Yes, and that's my problem, is that I tend to go for the darker boutiques, but then if I want to do a boutique only quilt, I don't have the other things to go with them. So that's where I was buying those, that light beige and that light purple. And Teresa says, so far I love them all. Right, those boutiques. I was surprised when I saw the advertisement for boutiques at $5.99 a yard, and I was thinking they're going to have those cheap boutiques. They're not going to have the real boutiques. And they are really the real boutiques. And like I said, I had to quit looking at those boutiques because, yeah, I would have been poor. I'm already poor. Let me correct that. I'm already poor. But I would have been poorer. Tiffany says, today is my unbirthday, laughing out loud. You can send me all those to me, T. Okay, Tiffany. That is funny. Kevin says, and where was your good friend Kevin the quilter at while you were buying all those fabrics, laughing out loud? You know where you were. Kevin actually went to QuiltCon, guys. He left me. Vivian Cabby is here. She says, hi, T and everyone. Quilting for the Soul says, funny at Tiffany. Kim says, my birthday is Sunday. I would take extra off your hands. Happy birthday, Kim. Francine is here. Says, good evening, T Quilters. Hi, Francine. Welcome. You got a lot of people in the comments trying to get fabric. And Eric says, I got that marble purple pad. That's pretty cool. It's got all kinds of colors in it. But I love it. I can't wait to get into it. It's not, you know, and then I have my favorites, and then I don't want to use them. But I am going to use one of the pads. Maybe I don't know if I'll use it in a video because I've already kind of pre-cut stuff. So I don't know if I'm going to use it in a video, but we'll see. Rhonda Barlow says, hello, T and everyone. The batik fabric is nice. I love the color mix of batik fabrics. Long ago and far away, I took a class on how to make batik fabrics, and it's definitely a process to make. I have dyed some fabric once, and I don't even know where I put the dyed fabric. I think I may have mixed it in with some fabric that somebody else gave me, so I need to check that box. But I do have some dye stuff here, and I don't even know if it's any good anymore. I've had it for so long. But pretty interesting with dyeing fabric. Let's see. Again, if you're new here and got any quilt related questions, go ahead and drop them in. I'm just reading comments now. And it takes me a while to get down through them. Uh-oh. Eric says, once I go to collage with fabric, you never go back. Oh, my goodness. I do some, but I don't do it as extravagant. Like, when I made this book, I put a few things on it, and then I kept looking at it and go, well, it needs this, and then it needs that. It needs this. And then I looked up, and I'm like, girl, you keep adding stuff, but every time I added something, it's weird with collage that when you first start, if you add 2 or 3 things, it's not generally enough. And then, like, you add about 4 or 5 more things, and then it kind of balances itself out. It's kind of weird. Um, yeah, I started to like paint or gloss these chipboard, these wood pieces, and then they were just plain. So then I came back and put these on, and then it just jazzed them up a little bit. I had just this piece of gold and this white initially, and then when I laid the black down, it really made it pop. So it's amazing to me. It was kind of my first time just looking at something and just keep adding and let it just happen. That wasn't just all fabric. So I don't really do collage in paperwork, but it was pretty fun. And Adele's over there singing, I can't hear you. She wants the fabric. I'm thinking about the material. But yes, let's see. Gorgeous cover. Thank you, Sin. That cover is fabulous from Brenda. Thank you. Elaine is here. Doucette says awesome. Thank you, Elaine. And I'm trying to make a book for everyone in my scrap quilting club this year, next month. Although they won't be available next month, my plan is to have them available for our November meeting. This is our 10th year as of March of 2020. We started this group in March of 2010, and there's not many groups that stay together for that long, and I even got members that have been there from the beginning. So it's just very interesting, and I appreciate that group. So I wanted to do something special for them. And so we take group pictures. We've been taking group pictures for since 2014 or 15, something like that. So I've made copies of all of those group pictures. And then on our very first project, when we came in for show and tell, I have pictures of the first projects that we did. And so I have those pictures that I'm printing. And then I also have pictures from our November. At the end of the year, we have a large show and tell. So I took whoever did show and tell, I printed those pictures. So they'll have pictures from our very first meeting in March, and then our last of the year meeting in November. So those pictures I'm going to give to them so that they can put them into their books, and then they'll also get a book. But when I did mine, I wanted to make sure my book was big enough to hold their pictures that they did show and tell. So I had pictures of them showing their show and tell. So that's why my book needed to be a little bigger. Phyllis says, very nice album tee. Thank you so much. Slowing down. So slowing down. Joe says, yes, beautiful. Sin says, impressive. Nisima says, very nice. And Phyllis, no, not Phyllis, Adele says, wow, they're newfangled, never seen albums like this. And then Kim says, T, how long does it take you to make one of those books? Now, with my other books, I've got it where I do batch. Like I'll work on 5 or 6 books at a time. So I batch cut. I'll take one paper pad and I can get at least 6 books out of a paper pad. And it depends on the paper. I might be able to get more. But I'll cut an entire paper pad down. I'll cut all of my chipboards for my front, back, and my spines. I'll cut all of my black pieces for my pages. And then it's a lot easier when you're making more than one book. So how long does one book take? I really can't tell you anymore, except that this book took me about 2 days, like 8 hours. So I'd say about 16 hours, 2 days. And that's because on this book, I knew what I was going to put in the front and the back. It's the same as my 1 inch. But then I had to start making measurements when I started doing the 2 pages that are in the inside. So it took me a little longer because I didn't have any measurements down. For my 1 inch books, I have all of my measurements already down. And when I do that, I'll share that with you all in a link to a PDF so you can download it if you're interested. Because what I find from most of the people that do YouTube videos, they tell you in the video what they've cut and where they scored, but then they don't give it to you in writing some kind of written form so that you can have it so that you can go and actually do it without having to watch that video again and again and again. So I didn't want to do that. So I'm hoping, I don't know when I'm going to record that. My first goal is to get that other video edited, and it took me I started like last Wednesday. I told you all I was going to go start working on that retreat project, the quilt top, and I started about almost 11 p.m. at night, and I worked till about 1, and then I came back the next day and started about 8, maybe by 3, and I had some interruptions because now I'm in my business mode. Things are happening where I'm having to respond to stuff. I got people at my front door. I got the phone ringing. I had to go make a errand or two, so I got that done by 3 p.m. the next day. So this quilt top is really quick and easy to make. The problem is that I've got about 10 to 15 different video segments that I've got to edit in order to make it so that it flows for you all, because I didn't want to sit here and sew the entire time in front of you guys. So a lot of people saying great album, awesome fabric. Hey T, on the outside cover, did you use cardboard and cover it with paper? I used chipboard, and I've done one paper book that I gave to somebody because she was moving out of town, so she got her book early, and I made one out of paper. And I don't like just paper only covers because they don't hold up. As I was even giving it to her, I felt really bad because one of the pages just flipped back when I gave it to her, and I didn't even show you all that because I had to make it so quick to give it to her. But I have tried various different methods of making the books, and paper only covers I would not do if you're trying to give somebody, especially if you're giving it to somebody as a gift and you want it to hold up and be available to them for many years. So I use chipboard, and I use real chipboard. I don't use, some people use cereal boxes because it's easier to cut, but I just like chipboard because it's sturdier. Tiffany says, such a great neat memory photo album. Thank you so much. Eric says, oh shoot, she read my mind. Melissa LePage is here. She says 8 people or more could take pictures at one time. That is brilliant. 8 people or more could look at pictures at one time. That is brilliant. Yes. And it opens out, but you kind of need a whole table when you get into this photo album, when you start opening it up, or you open one side at a time. But when my books open, I tried to make so that those flapping pages, when they open, that things were matching as they were folded in and out. I wanted some kind of continuity with it, so I was being a little anal as I was making it as well, and as well as for my my people in my group. So yeah. And she says that company would be getting my money. That's Adele. I think she's still drooling over fabric. Eric says, wow, we got 119 viewers. Oh, we do. Thank you guys so much. If you all are new here, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, please. I got a lot of quilting videos. I just happen to show, I'm in paper crafting. I also make heat transfer t-shirts. So I do a lot of things with crafting, but my main thing is quilting, but I do whatever makes me the money first. So if you order t-shirts, I'll do t-shirts. I do long arm machine quilting as well for people, so I also have some of that I need to do. I got 2 of those in that I need to take care of sometime soon as well. We got Ann McNew here. She says, I'm late, but I'm here. Hi, Ann. I went and saw her today. Thanks so much for all of your help, Ann. I really appreciate it. Doris O is here from Glen Allen. Hello, everyone. I'm late tonight, but I made it. T, I enjoy watching your retreat video. Thank you all so much. Now, you know, I've done a lot of retreat videos, and for some reason, that one has over 3,000 views in less than a week. So that's pretty interesting to me. And it was a long show and tell. That was a long video, so I appreciate you all watching it, but I like to show what everybody is working on and give everybody in the group who wants to a chance to talk to you guys if they want to. So I love that retreat. It's a nice group and we have a lot of fun. Cheryl is reminding everybody to hit the thumbs up. Thank you, Cheryl. Appreciate that. Joan Elkin says, hello, everyone. Late as usual. um, oh, and Eric says, yep, I got the updates from UPS. Okay, United States Postal Service, not UPS. Thank you. I just want to make sure that you know it's coming. And Joe says, I like the way you did Pam's age math. She's talking to Joe. And also, Eric, I sent you some pieces of fabric that's actually in my project. I want to see what you do with those. And they were the leftover scraps from me piecing my quilt top. And then also you got some surprises, and I'm not going to tell you what that is. Melissa, I've already read that. Angela says, when you are sashing with Cornerstones, what is the best way to keep it straight? You got to make sure that you are pinning correct. If you have a sashing and a cornerstone, I make sure that I pin at the cornerstone, which would be about this size, 2 or 3 inches, however size, whatever size you cut it. And then when you get to the block size, which could be 12 inches, you already got a pin over here at the cornerstone and a pin here. I would make sure that I pin in the center and maybe put another pin here and another pin in there. So I would put like 3 more pins into that sashing as well. And that's going to help you ease all of that in, because even though we try to be perfect, every block is not going to be the right size. And if you don't pin it so that it eases in nice, your quilt's going to pucker. So that's my tip for sashing. And I think adding sashing over just a plain strip, if you are a beginner, I think it's easier to add it with the sashing and the cornerstone than to just add a sashing as a strip, because that cornerstone will help you to line up to know exactly where it goes. That was a great question, Angela. I appreciate that. Rhonda says, I look forward to the bookmaking videos. That book is nice. Thank you all so much. I did not know that I would enjoy. I have been resisting making a book. I'm one of those people that I buy Creative Memories photo albums. I'm the photo keeper for my family. But once I start making these books, I am addicted. I just love this. I love the whole process. Denise Hoffman says, can't have too much fabric. You haven't seen all of my fabric. I keep saying, you don't have room for another piece of fabric, and then here I go and buy more. But again, a good chunk of this is like going to door prizes for scrap club and or retreat projects that I'm working on. So I'm hoping that I won't have too much of this going into my stash. I have one set of fabrics that I was trying to do a project with, but I also bought some of that same fabric to give to other people. June Hansen is here, says, hi, Miss T and all. Hi, June. Welcome. Doris O is here. Kim is here saying, watching, couldn't get my chat on laptop. Wow, now that's weird. It should work on a laptop. Betty Harris is here, says, shop till you drop. All right. And Kim's actually having to watch on her cell phone. I don't understand. You should be able to watch on any of your devices. Kelly A is here, says, Miss T, I have to add black sashing on just 10 more blocks and I'll be done with my 50 blocks. Woohoo. Yes, yes, indeed. And it is, you know, once you get into it, it is a little bit, but I found that if I just knock those blocks out in a week and just get them over and done with, I was happier doing that than having them. When you're string and crumb piecing, when you start putting those up to work on another project, to me it's a lot harder to come back and work on it, because now you got to do all the sorting again. But I'm glad you're almost done. Kevin just asked me how many people had turned in blocks already. You all are super early getting them done, and I appreciate that. Sin is reminding everybody, thumbs up, everyone. Don't forget, thumbs up. Thank you so much. Sandy says, T, you have beautiful color coordination. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I have loved color from the beginning of time, and it came from the quilts that my great aunt was making for family members. Have always loved the colors. Let me go back. Says, why does fabric cut on the bias mess up so bad? That's because it stretches more that way. And also, if you are a new quilter and you don't know this, a lot of times when I put, if my border is not a scrappy border, I actually cut my border lengthwise. That means I cut it along the length of the selvage, because when you cut it from selvage to selvage where you're going across the fold, that also stretches more even though it's straight of grain. So when I put my final border on my quilt, I tend to put it on and I cut it lengthwise. And if I have to cut pieces to connect, I do that. But most of the time, when I buy fabrics and I figure I might want to use them for a border, I'll go ahead and buy like 2.5 to 3 yards, knowing that I'm already going to cut it on the lengthwise, so I don't have to piece it for my borders. But I like my borders not to be stretchy out there, so I do that. And then another reason is because it just helps also when I put it on a long arm, it's even more stable that way. But bias, it's going to really stretch because that's just the nature of the cloth. And I'm sure I'm not going to have anything here that I can show you that's bias here. But I can this is cut selvage to selvage because this is the selvage here. And you can see when I move this fabric here, you can see it stretching. You see it curving in. I'd rather cut my fabric this way, and you're not going to be able to see it because it's so tiny, because see how it just snaps? It doesn't do that stretch this way. And this is a small piece, but I'm telling you, if you get a big piece of yardage and do that, you'll see the difference on why I put the lengthwise grain on my borders on the end. Now, if I have a scrappy border and I've got lots of pieces out there, one thing that I do is I stay stitch about 1/8 of an inch all the way around the outside edges. That makes it's twofold. Number one is that it keeps all of my piecing stabilized so that I don't have to worry about those pieces coming apart when I put it on my long arm machine. And then number two is that stitching also helps to stabilize the edge of that quilt when I'm putting it on my long arm frame. So I think about the quilting as I'm making my quilt tops. So that was an excellent question, and thank you so much for asking. That was from Betty. And then Eric's wanting to know if anybody else here paper crafts. He's just interested. Eric also paper crafts, in case you all didn't know. Pamela does. Slowing Down Joe does. June says, no, I haven't gotten time. And I fully understand. Elaine says, I like quilling and sometimes card making. Stamp it up with Anita. Melissa says, it stretches, Betty, loses its shape. So you've had people already answering. That's pretty good. Teresa McCormick says, oh man, how late am I? Very late, Teresa. We've been on here for 58 minutes and 10 seconds right now. Kim says, my paper craft is collecting dust. And I had done that. I started out scrapbooking maybe when my daughter was a kid, about maybe 3 or 4 years old, because I wanted to keep all of her pictures that I was taking for her. And then I expanded it into the family photo albums, because I've always had a camera from the time I was a kid. I've been taking pictures, so I kind of had all the old Polaroids and things like that. So I've actually got like my family photo albums are set up in the order of my family tree. So I was kind of the family photo person. Then I stopped once my daughter got grown. I guess once she graduated high school, probably I stopped. And then I got back into paper crafting, but more got into the card making. But I do some scrapbooking stuff a little bit here and there, but not a whole lot. If it's a big event, then I'll do the scrapbooking on it. Also, I have done like Snapfish, or they have like photo albums you can do. I've done those as well when I just don't have time to do it in real paper. Pamela says, I want to make a journal. And that's the thing about these, is that they could be photo albums or journals, depending on how you set them up. And then you could also do it as a keepsake, like if you a person that go to a lot of shows and you got tickets, instead of putting photos on the photo pages. You can put like your memorabilia, and then you can add additional die cuts and embellishments in. And I want to put my photos and collect all of my stuff before I do any more embellishing on the inside. But I do plan to die cut like sewing related die cuts, and then I do plan to put them into the book in particular places as well, but I want to get my pictures in first. Pamela says she's the one that makes a journal. Denise Hoffman says, I make cards but not much else. I think it's beautiful but don't do much paper craft. Melissa says, try starching it first. T has a really good video on that. I do have a video on all the different ways that you can stabilize fabric, including just using water. People want to know how to get wrinkles out of fabric. Just wet it for the most part. That works. We have hard wrinkles because something got on it and pressed it in. So if you just wash it, it'll most likely go away in a wash. Shakita says, I have supplies to make photo albums collecting dust. Well, get them out, girl. Get them out. And slowing down. Joe says, I starch it a lot and then cut it. Eric says, okay, so a good handful of us do paper crafts. Adrian says, pray for me. I will not become a paper addict. That looks so neat. Yes, it's like everything that I touch craft-wise, I want to do it 100% or not at all. Like, I love the end result of knitted projects, but my stuff just wasn't working out with knitting, so I don't knit anymore. Now, I can crochet, and I'm trying to ignore that because while I was good with crochet, I didn't ever make anything super fantastic. So I'm like, I'm trying to let the crochet stuff just kind of stay packaged. Because I know if I got back into crochet now with all the different stuff that's out in crochet, then I'll need a whole nother bookcase just for crochet stuff. So I'm trying not to do that. But I am having difficulty saying no to Tuesday morning's $6.99 paper pads, okay? So I'm glad Benita Nan sent me some. Thank you so much. So I don't have to go back in there. But I did go in there today because I met with Ann and I was out there by Tuesday morning. So I stopped in there. And bought 2 pads. I'm so bad. But I got a lot of books to make, so I'm going to be using them. So I do have a good justification for it. Kevin says, T, you are beyond talented in everything you do. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And Eric, are you planning on going to Houston this year? We're already talking about Houston for this year. And I want you and Eric to meet just because. I mean, you and Kevin to meet. June says, I missed all the fabric. We'll have to go back later to see it all. Yes, you will. It's really pretty. Tiffany says, my husband is like, turn both of those lives down. It's annoying. Gloria Wright is here. She says, hi, watching you for the first time. Thank you, Gloria. We're almost finished. We're about to go off. I've been on here 3 minutes overdue. I'm just trying to get through some of the comments. Hope you can go back and watch it. And then join us next Wednesday. We're here every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, unless I have an engagement. And Virgie says, I have watched the retreat video several times. Yeah, and every time she goes back through, she leaves another comment somewhere. Appreciate that as well. And Shaquita says, I have a photo stuff from Creative Memories. Yes, honey, that's when back in the day, they were the group to be with, Creative Memories. There are so many different groups out and card clubs. It's ridiculous. And News is saying, hey, hi, hello, how are you? Asking where am I live? I'm in the St. Louis area. And I'm trying to skip through some of these comments. Somebody's asking when the blocks are due. It's not actually due until May 31st. But the more I get in early, the more I really would appreciate it. I'm going to see, I'll probably, once May hit, I'm going to start trying to see if everybody got their blocks in, because I probably would like to have them swapped out at the end of May. but I know I gave them May 31st deadline. I may have to change that a little bit because I'm going to need a place. If I've got all these people with all of these blocks, I'm going to need a place that has big tables. And in June, I won't have that opportunity to do that. I can do it at May at my retreat. So I'm thinking about maybe changing the due date a little bit, but I'm going to see how many comes in early. You hear that, Benita? Benita might be at work, no telling. T, someone posted on Teaquilts' Facebook page about unloading their scrap stash. Yes, they did. If you are in the Facebook group and you don't have a stash, please only ask if you don't have a stash. She's trying to get quilters that don't have a string or crumb stash. She's trying to support them. So if you don't have a stash and you're in the Facebook group, there is a post about someone unloading their stash, and she has bags and bags and bags of it, okay? Bags of it. Judy says, T, I've been pressing seams open to get really flat blocks, but I recently heard that pressing to the dark side makes stronger quilts. Which method do you use? It depends on which method. It depends on the quilt and what I'm making. If I'm making a string quilt where none of the seams are going to match, I'll press to one side because pressing my seams open takes a long time. It takes a lot longer in quilt making. However, if I'm making a quilt and 90% of them are half square triangles, half of the pieces are half square triangles, I'm going to press my seams open. Now, when you press your seams open, it doesn't mean that your quilt isn't going to survive. It's not strong. There are some things you have to consider when you get to the quilting side of pressing your seams open. If you're one of those people that like to stitch in the ditch, you're not going to be able to do that if you have pressed your seams open, because if the needle penetrates the thread of your piecing, it could tear that thread, and so then it could put a hole in your quilt. But if you're doing all over style quilting, like an edge to edge design, pressing your seams open doesn't make a difference between making your quilt stronger from pressing your quilt seams to the darker side. Now, trust me, I know you're going to have people that are going to give you different opinions. I have quilts made both ways, and none of my quilts have holes. None of my quilts are coming apart. I know how to quilt them so that they will not penetrate the threads on those pressed open seams. And it does make for a nice flatter quilt, especially when you have a lot of half square triangles meeting at an intersection. People think that long arm machines can quilt through and over anything. My machine is not going to go over that. I put have a spoon foot that I put on my machine, and if my machine don't want to go over it, I do not make my machine go over, because I'm not going to let somebody's quilt top damage the timing on my long arm, and then I've got to take time out, and it takes a while to get your machine back in timing to make sure that your chin is right. So one doesn't replace the other. There are places for both. On this quilt top that I just did, I pressed the seams to one side just because none of the seams met up anywhere else. So it just depends. And I can be long-winded about seams because I am a fond user of pressed open seams when appropriate. And I try to tell my people when they're appropriate to use. Betty says, I need to make a book for our family reunion. And you can make these books in any size you like. And that's the thing that I did with this book when I added in double the extra pages. I kind of watched one person just to see how it was put together. And then I decided what I wanted in my book and what size my book was going to be. Let's see. June says, she's talking to Kevin. Laura Miller's talking to Virgie. So Kim couldn't get the laptop. She's watching on both her laptop and her phone and couldn't get the chat on laptop. Now that I don't know about. Cheryl says, I had a short setback with an arm injury, but partway done now. That's good. Hope it's all healing well for you. And we are going to look like we're going to be trying to get off of here soon because we are 10 minutes over, guys. Hi, Jennifer J. I'm just passing through these comments. because we've got to go. Rhonda says, I used to make cards. My third grade teacher taught us how to bind books. Haven't done that since elementary school. T is piquing my interest again. And I am going to actually use binding tape to show you as one way of doing the books over using, a lot of people will use the larger 12 by 12 cardstock. So I am going to show you how to do it by binding tape as well. Lietta is late. She's normally in here on time every week. Poor thing. She's here. We're about to leave, Lietta. And I'm just skipping comments, guys. I'm so sorry, but I've got so many people in here, and we're like 10 minutes over time, and I don't want to hold up anyone else's time. I see Camille Anderson is coming. Hi to you. Joyce McGill is here. Hi to you. I'm just reading names. Cheryl Bean is saying good night. So you all have a great week. Come back next week if I missed your comment in the section. Put it in the chat box. Get in here early. Get your comment in there early so I can get it answered for you. And I will see you all next week. Bye-bye, Teaquilters. Take care. Stay blessed.